Hello again and welcome to another edition of Suds and Country. Hi, I'm Herb Suds and welcome to the show, my friends. On this edition, I have Lyric Street recording artist Brian McComas. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, thanks. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again, absolutely. I read where it says, I feel like this is a calling. For me, making music is like breathing. Would you like to explain that statement?
Well, what I mean by calling is if you're doing something that you feel like you were made to do, and with me, I don't mean necessarily getting paid to play music. I just mean playing music in general. I love doing it. I feel like it's something that I'm familiar with. It's something that turns on my soul, and I want to do everything I can to try to help turn on other people's soul in the same way.
Music really reaches people.
I think so. It sure did reach me.
It reaches it in a way that no other. I don't think there's anything else that can reach people other than words and music.
Yeah.
No matter whether country, classical, whatever it is, somehow people listen to music.
Yeah, they do.
Let's talk about some of the songs on your self-titled CD. A Night Disappear with You. The inspiration behind that one. How'd you get that one?
Just simple enough. Just thinking, you know what? Every once in a while, a man finds a woman that saves him from himself, and that's kind of what that song's about. Absolutely.
Was that a good hit for you? That was.
It's a song that we got out there. We released it a little bit early before we put the project out, and it got into the mid-30s for us. It set us up real nice for the other singles.
And there's no video on that.
No video on that song.
Right.
No.
How about I Could Never Love You Enough?
I Can Never Love You Enough is just hopefully a standard love song that everybody can relate to.
Where'd the idea come from?
Well, the idea just came from an experience that I had with my family where I realized how much of a sacrifice that women can make sometimes for men, and you turn it around and it's hard for men to make any kind of sacrifice like ladies do sometimes.
Yeah, how about 99% Sure?
99 is a song that Billy Austin and Greg Barnhill wrote. They're just a couple of great writers in town, and that hook just kept catching us, so we thought, well, maybe if it's doing that to us, it'll do that for other people, and so far it has.
What your next single is going to be?
I think it might be a song called You're in My Head, the 6th song on the album.
Okay. Yeah, You're in My Head. Yeah. That's an upbeat tune, or is that a dance tune?
Upbeat tune. People ought to be able to get out there and dance to it.
There you go. That's the kind we like. All right. You wrote most of the songs on that album?
I wrote about half, 4 of the 11.
And you physically wrote them completely, or you just were a co-writer on a lot of them?
I wrote 100% of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you're a songwriter.
Yeah,
you're a songwriter. How has your songwriting changed? This is a good question. How does your songwriting change, if it did, since you started writing songs in the 2nd and 3rd grade, and to when you were about 16 when you met Paul Overstreet? Have you improved?
Well, hopefully it's gotten better. I hope it's gotten better. I know I'm working hard at it every day, just trying to get more in touch with other people's stories and stories of my own in my own life.
How about, you remember what you wrote in the 2nd and 3rd grade?
I don't remember. I just remember I started trying to put words together and make them rhyme, and it was words intrigued me, and poetry and children's poems and things like that intrigued me in 2nd and 3rd grade, and that's when I really started realizing that I liked the rhyme of words together.
And how about the Paul Overstreet experience in Branson? How has that changed your life and the future from then until now? That was a big move.
Well, Paul Overstreet's just a great writer.
Yeah,
when I listen to his music, it makes me want to write and sing it. So he's changed my life in just an influence type of form. He's given me a great example of how to write good music, and every day I try to follow it.
There's a lot of good songwriters out there.
Really
Which song on your CD is most traditional country sounding? If you had to pick one.
Come With Me is very traditional. I Ain't You to Never Say Goodbye has a real traditional flavor to it.
Which one's more rock and roll? If you had, is there a thing on there?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. I think of my music as country. I'm sure it has some rock influences.
You've had so many influences.
Yeah, I have had a lot of influences.
Looking backward, you had classical influences too.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Tommy Barnes?
Tommy Barnes is a songwriter friend of mine. He wrote a song called Indian Outlaw, and another song called My Love, and he was just a good guy along the way that kind of took me under his wing, and he's a good buddy of mine.
How did he influence your writing abilities?
Well, just showing me how to protect myself in the business world more than anything, the music business side of things.
And who was Dave Farmer in your life?
Dave Farmer was a man I met in Harrison, Arkansas. Grew up with him and helping me out, learn how to play the guitar a little bit, put down chords on songs for me that I couldn't put down myself, and it was
You were
a really
writing,
good
but
guy.
you couldn't play them.
Couldn't play them.
And you learned how to play that instrument in college, huh?
Yes, sir. Sure did.
Yeah. And you started playing coffee houses, et cetera, and et cetera, and et cetera.
Yeah, we started playing coffee houses and, you know, getting people, you know, to pay attention to us every once in a while. And we met with a group on Thursday nights where we played guitar, and that's kind of where I learned how to play guitar in front of people.
Does your writing reflect your country and pop and even classical music influences? There you go, classical.
Hopefully it does.
Yeah.
Hopefully everything I've played, you know. Well, classical I just listened to when I went to bed at night.
That's right.
I'm not smart enough to write all that stuff.
No. You're just doing good country music. Tell you what we're going to do. I propose we put one of these videos in. Which one do you want to put in?
Well, how about the hit single for us, 99.9% Sure?
Tell us what happened during that video that the people will never know behind the scenes. Was it unusual? Where was it taped, you know? And something cool that happened.
All over the state of California. We did everything we could to make it look like it was one of those things that you bounced all around the country, but we used the state of California because it has so many different types of landscapes. And we got up at about 5 o'clock every morning, went to bed about 11 o'clock every night, just working hard on it. 4 days.
4 days to shoot that.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking when I saw that video, I thought they just kept changing sceneries behind you. You were standing on the stage somewhere.
No, it was it. We went to those sceneries.
Instead of finishing college, you went to Nashville in September '94.
Yeah.
You wrote songs and joined a band and had a band there, right?
Yeah, sure did.
What went through your mind when you made that decision to go to Nashville in September of '94?
Just got sick of saying someday. I knew one of these days I was going to do it, and I just got the inspiration to go. A lot of my friends were graduating college. I still didn't have enough hours to graduate, and I thought, you know what, it's just time for me to go do what I say I love to do. And I knew I needed to go where the music was.
It had to feel good to say, Nashville, here I come.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you recorded the CD, you made it a family affair, I read. Grandparents, parents, wife and the kids, and some Louisiana cooking.
Yeah, we had our whole family there. You know, it's one of those things where having family around just makes me make music better, I think.
Creative freedom. They gave you a lot of creative freedom on that?
Lyric Street Records is great about that. They let the artist be the artist, and they definitely did with our album.
Here, I just said, right, do you think too many people interfere with an artist, not allowing the artist to be themselves on a CD?
Well, it's hard for me to speak for other people at other labels, but I know our label's great about letting me do my thing, you know.
You were yourself on that one. That's good. Because not everybody has the same ideas that an artist has, you know, and the artist the person has to relate to the public, you know, not the guy sitting behind the desk. You know, that's what I thought. When not writing music, you write poetry and short stories and screenplays?
When I have the time, it's gotten busy lately, but I've always been intrigued by writers that write anything. It's just, I love to read.
How about any action on those fronts about as far as, you know?
We haven't given them to anybody. Okay. I never said I was good at them. I just said I wrote them.
Okay, there you go. There's the difference, Brian. There's the difference. No doubt about it. Where have you toured so far to promote this CD?
Name a place.
You've been there, huh?
I've been there.
Been there. Is Brian McComas international yet?
I know we're getting overseas airplay, yes.
But you haven't toured there yet?
Have not toured there yet.
You toured the 48, though.
Toured the 48.
Yeah. Good. I hear you're going on tour with Rascal Flatts and Chris Cagle?
You heard correct.
Am I? All right. Not bad company, huh?
No, they're great artists and good people, and we look forward to spending the fall with them on the CMT Most Wanted Live Tour.
Oh, okay. Where are you going to go with that?
About 30 to 35 different cities, everywhere from Manhattan to Anaheim, California, so all over the place.
Across the state again. They're doing pretty good. But Rascal Flatts is doing pretty good for themselves.
Absolutely.
And you're right out there with them. Can't get better than that. When was the first time you were recognized on the street?
Probably a couple years ago.
Were you?
Yeah, a couple years ago. I was in Nashville. Yeah.
How did it feel?
Strange. Strange that anybody would know who I was. Yeah, I've gotten a little bit more used to it lately since the past 4 or 5 months. We've had a little bit of success, and people recognize me every once in a while. And
you go into a restaurant with the family, they bother you? They come up to you?
People don't bother us, but they do come up and ask for autographs and pictures and things like that.
That make you feel good.
Oh, it sure does. Yeah, listen, you do it so people will enjoy what you do, and you hope they do. So when they notice you or react to you being in a place, you try to do everything you can to oblige them.
Where were you when you first heard your first song on the radio?
Sacramento, California.
You remember the dime, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a hotel room in Sacramento.
Were you driving or doing something?
No, I was waiting to play a show with Daryl Worley and Cindy Thompson at the time.
And what was your reaction when you heard that?
Oh, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
Did you expect it to be on?
No,
No.
we just turned on the radio.
And there it was.
Yeah, we're actually trying to set our clock, I think. We're going to take a nap that afternoon
Okay.
before the show, and we were setting our clock, and my song was on the radio, so it was
Damn,
pretty
there
cool.
it was,
Yeah.
huh? So what's the surprise announcement you were going to make in August? Did you let it out yet?
It was a CMT tour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a CMT
In
Most
here it
Wanted
said
Live.
there's a surprise announcement coming out.
Yeah, that was a CMT tour. At the 1st of August, they announced it.
All right, tell us something about I Can Never Love You Enough, because we're going to show that now.
This is the
Unusual.
first video we ever shot, and ironically enough, the building we shot it in is now the building that Lyric Street Records is housed in.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That tape deck and all that kind of stuff that was in there.
Yeah, the whole that whole building there is now Lyric Street Records bought it, and now it's
Isn't that nice?
that's what they use for their label.
Wow. Now, how long did it take you to shoot that video?
Just one day on that
quick
one.
shot, huh?
Mhm.
After all is said and done, would you like to be remembered as a songwriter, an artist, or a singer?
Both.
All of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to pick.
It's hard to pick, but you're basically a songwriter.
Well, I'd like to think that maybe we'll make a place for ourselves as a singer as well.
How about relax time? You like all sports?
I love all kinds of sports.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love watching sports. I'm glad it's football season.
Yeah. Now what with the championship tennis? You were a good tennis player, huh?
Well, I got hurt playing football, and I couldn't use my left arm, so the only thing I could do,
that
with
ball
my
with your
upper
right
body
arm.
was to hit the tennis ball with my right one.
And you play golf, huh?
Yeah.
You're a good golfer.
Oh, I'm not good. I hack around at it.
Tracy Lawrence was here a couple of weeks ago, and I had him. And I said, "You play golf?" He says, "I'm just a scratch golfer." Whoa, the wind is coming through here. Oh, hang on a second. There we go. He says, "I'm just a scratch golfer."
Yeah.
You know, that's what he put it.
Exactly.
So, what advice do you have to viewers that want to be an artist? What do you think they should be doing?
Don't take no for an answer. You know, if you really feel like it's something you want to do, you decide when no is the answer you'll take.
You did a lot of hard work and dedication to this craft so far. huh?
Absolutely.
And you surround yourself with nice people.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta have a good team around you.
Got to all the time. I don't care what it is. Who is Doug Howard?
He's the head of A&R at Lyric Street. Yes.
If you had a second career choice, what would it have been?
I'd have been a football coach.
Would you? You like it?
Yeah, I
Who's
love
scoring?
football that much.
When you go out on stage, what's the highlight of your shows?
Just getting to see the people,
Yeah.
getting to interact with them. Absolutely.
If you had a duet partner to pick, who would be your duet partner?
Alison Krauss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's good.
She's great.
Great. What's your goals? Be a song. Just continue on what you're doing.
Absolutely. Try to get better every day at what I do.
Awards? Do you have any awards today?
I've not won any awards that I know of at this point. I think we're too new.
Oh, too new. Yeah, you are pretty new. Any lessons learned so far?
Just that it never give up.
Don't give up.
We were in Nashville 9 years before we really started getting things going, so keep at it.
Did you ever pattern yourself after anybody? Or you just kind of you're just Brian McComas.
Yeah, I mean, I hopefully I'm influenced by the people that I enjoy listening to, but I don't try to pattern myself after anybody because they've already got a Paul Overstreet out there. They've already got a George Strait, so I'm hoping they need one.
There you go. And Brian McComas, is there any storyline or common thread between any of the songs on this CD? Or did just
Songs I love.
there you go.
You know?
That's all you need. That's it. Oh, but just one last. How did you get from Maryland to the Ozarks? You were born in Maryland and wound up in the Ozarks.
Well, my parents brought me. I was only in Maryland for a couple years,
Okay.
so I was in the Ozarks by the time I was 4 years old.
Okay.
Grew up there.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
you having
much.
on Suds and Country. We'll see you next time when you get around again.
It's a pleasure.
Okay?
It's
You
a
bet.
pleasure.
Here's Brian McComas closing us up this time in Suds and Country.